I'm Jody Wright, and I am the director of the Great Lakes Twirling Academy. I've been teaching baton twirling for decades in the Lakeville and the Davison communities. And unfortunately, we're all in quarantine. We can't have the classes that we normally would have. So I thought it would give you the opportunity to learn how to twirl the baton in your own home and some of the things that I would teach my students. Now, of course, the hard part is that you gotta have a baton, right? You can go to the dollar store and buy one of those batons that they might carry there, but keep in mind that the batons that we use to twirl are properly balanced. They're also sized so that they match approximately the same length as your arm, just a little bit longer. And if you wanted to get a baton, I can do my best to get batons in the hands of the people in my community. If you're far away or that's not an option, then certainly you can go to Starline Baton Company and you can order a baton online, and it usually takes like a day or two to get the batons, and they will show you exactly how to measure to see which size baton you need. So the first thing that I do when I start teaching a class is I introduce you to the parts of the baton. So if you look at the baton, there's one end is bigger than the other, and the big end is called the ball and the little end is called the tip. The bar that we twirl with, this is called the shaft. Now you're going to need to know that as we do this twirling lessons, because I will use that as a learning tool as to where your ball should be and so forth. So the first thing I like to do is I want my students to become familiar with the baton, because as you learn to twirl, you're going to do things where you're balancing the baton onto your body, and we want you to feel like you shouldn't be afraid of the baton if you were to do a high toss. So I want you to become familiar with the baton just being close to your body. So we take the baton and tuck it underneath your chin, and we're just going to take your arms out at a little angle and we're going to go roly-poly down. And that should be pretty easy, and even the little preschool kids could do that. To spice it up a little bit, sometimes what I'll do is have you tuck it underneath your chin, and we'll walk around in a circle, and then we'll let it roll on down. After that, you can add a little baby toss catch, and then we'll practice catching it in both hands, and just to become familiar with the eye and hand coordination. Now, one of the other things that I'll do is the baton, or the hand that isn't holding a baton, we call that your free hand. And sometimes maybe it's on your waist or on your shoulder behind your head. Sometimes we have it out, sometimes it's more of a ballet arm, and but always has a place. So the hand that isn't holding onto the baton, it always has a place, and in my opinion, it can be just as important as what the baton is doing. So when you do your roly-poly, and you take and you give it a little bit of a toss, catch it, put your free hand somewhere, and you can just play around with that and put your free hand in all different places, wherever that you decide you want it to go, and just to add a little bit more fun to it. If you mastered this, then you could do your roly-poly toss and your feet stay together, and you don't have to move around to try to catch it. So it's all in one spot, toss, and it's catchable without moving your feet. Okay, now that you have that one down, what we're going to try to do is we're going to do what is called a figure eight. So we're going to take the baton in your right hand, and I'm going to go ahead and put mine in my left hand so that it can give you a mirror image. Your ball, remember, is your big end, and it is pointing up to the ceiling. Let's put your feet tight together and stand up as tall as you can. So you're going to tuck in your rear end, suck in your tummy, and for right now, let's put that free hand right there on your waist. Fingers are closed and tight together, and we're going to pinch your hip. Now we're going to pretend like over here we have a big bowl of chocolate ice cream. And then over here we have a big bowl of vanilla ice cream. And this right here is your spoon. And you're going to take that spoon and you're going to bring it over and you're going to dip it into the chocolate ice cream and dip it into the vanilla ice cream. And then the chocolate ice cream and then the vanilla ice cream. Making sure that the ball goes down and carries up and then goes down and carries up. And as you start to master that and develop the wrist flexibility in your wrist, that can shorten it up. And instead of using your arm, you're just going to use your wrist to make that motion, and it will become a lot faster too. But there's nothing wrong with when you're first learning to just get the motion with your arms, and slowly you'll advance into this. The other thing that you can do is take that arm and pull it out to the side. Now we're going to pretend then that the ice cream is right here in the front, and the vanilla ice cream, it's over here behind you. And again, you're going to scoop it this way and then scoop it behind you. Scoop it in front of you, scoop it behind you. And again, as you become better at that, that figure eight twirl will head off to the side over here. All right, so everything we do in our right hand, we also learn how to do in our our left hand. So we're gonna take the baton, we're gonna switch it to the other hand. Let's put that free hand right there on your hip again. We're gonna pinch your hip. And let's put the chocolate ice cream on this side, the vanilla ice cream over here. And here we go, we're gonna scoop chocolate, scoop vanilla, scoop chocolate, scoop vanilla, chocolate, vanilla, and again the ball is scooping down and pulling up, and then going back down and pulling up. And as you get good at that and you develop that wrist flexibility, you should be able to turn it into this. Also, let's take it over to the side and let's pretend like our ice cream is in front and our ice cream is behind, and we're going to take and scoop it up and behind and in front and behind and in front and behind, and eventually you have your left hand figure eight out to the side. All right, that's all we're going to do for right now. Stay tuned for some more exciting, fun videos.